crazy. Oh, there we go. There's this little filter. Whatever. It was like, you're live, but it's still kind of dark. I don't know. Maybe you've seen this or you haven't. Cough, cough. So, something I've been noticing, and mostly I'm not going to go through the effort of like doing the shtick and thank you guys for doing the thing, and also reading off of a thing as I say my things and make the jump cuts to where they are and to a new thought, but maybe to continue a sentence. You know the drill. So clearly, I'm going to talk about some Sauce Steinbar character just for fun. So I couldn't help but notice that it's really similar to a lot of the ARGs and the ways that the Patriots kind of got onto the scene. And again, I need to just live stream this so that I can get it out of my system, because otherwise I might not actually get to it and I need to keep pushing forward. So, when it comes to his shtick, especially like the bravado and stuff like that, I've seen it before. I mean, you've really got to sell it. But let me just run through a quick list for you. Stuff like Quinn Michaels and the Tyler thing. Quinn Michaels was from the future, if you recall, and Tyler was his quantum AI that you could talk to, but there was an air gap. There was. And, but that was just, so you weren't overloaded because it's quantum and you don't understand how that works. So I'm not saying that I'm an expert in anything or that I could even hold my own. But a lot of this is based on assumptions. So then you could also go along with John Titor if you're going in with the time travel stuff. Guy back from the future sending messages. Okay, I mean, it's supposedly easy to send something back and just let something ride forward so it's there. But jumping ahead, like, you don't even really need to jump ahead as long as it's in the past, it's in the future, sort of thing. But I think I may have even gotten that backwards. Just going backwards, it's the hard part. You can always go forward in time. You just sort of like stop your experience in time. I guess there's a lot of timey-wimey, mumbly-wumbly stuff. Lots of it. And that's really not the point right now. Even though Doctor Who is a good little relation to make to all this, especially with John Titor. He's this time traveler. Granted, he keeps coming back with more and more souped up stuff, and there were a couple different versions of him. That's okay. It just keeps coming back, or back now, sending messages from future self, or like sending Baron through, because if you really want to stick with this stuff, you go into Tesla and the 369 and the Plus Ultra, mostly the Plus Ultra. So Plus Ultra was sending messages through time with their telegrams, supposedly, or it was all just an ARG for a movie. What is reality? But it could have been. But still, that's the idea. They even made a site about it. It was interesting. Are you the eternal optimist we're looking for? For those who remember the inputs. But it wasn't just them doing stuff like that. Like when it comes to not only knowing Q or knowing Q in the future, or Q is an AI, like all of this should sound familiar. There's the ones who, besides being Q directly, such as like you have your microchip or Defanglo. Wait, let's say it the fun way. Defango. It's just Fandango. However, like according to his story, he was like writing the questions for Q, and he turned him into DEF CON, and he's part of Cicada, and then that takes you down this whole like Thomas Schrodingerberg, not this TS nonsense, and oh my god, that crap just pops up and it's supposed to suck you in. It's like, oh, this again. Okay, I guess we're here. Thanks, Megathread. Uh, but in that vein, you also got Microchip and Pasoviec claiming to be Q, and they have these logs that they can show things, but they never do. They never do. But they always hate on the doubters. I mean, if you ever question drinking bleach, just watch what happens to Sather's folks. They just right down your throat. It's amazing. Then you also got the MAGA coalition, who, much like our friend Austin, you know, has it in for the fakers. Because all of that, like a lot of it is, like especially with DeFango, like so that whole vein to step back because DeFango was working with the MAGA coalition and Toots and Travis View, or what was his real name again? I have it in a tweet somewhere. um, but yeah, they all work together and they're all going to go after Q, and they all wanted to sell the storyline that Q is not the same Q from the beginning like it started off, but it got taken over after the switch from 4chan to 8chan, and there was everyone's working with fake Q. I mean, this is a reused storyline for those who've been paying attention. But for those who are new, I mean, I can really understand. It's like, oh, wow, that's what's going on. I get it. Yeah. Oh, these people need to think for themselves and just question stuff. And it's always, you're not thinking for yourself. It's like, I mean, my favorite response to that is, yeah, you got to think for yourself, unless it's about the Bible or something. Don't you dare question all other gods but me. Anyway, back to the point. So you have this Cubist comp narrative, and it's like, oh yeah, Cooley said Chan, but now it's on Coon, so it's not the same. It's already off. It's like, that is the dumbest, absolute dumbest argument to make right there. The another part of the shtick, walking around, going places. Who all remembers George Webb from well before Q? Remember him? He's supposedly old school Messiah. And this Austin guy supposedly DIA. Golly, that's kind of a similar shtick. I mean, you have to wonder why. Always nothing ever happens to Mr. Webb, you know? I mean, it's clearly because he's got that secret backing. And then there's Hot Wheels, you know, Judas Ass Chariot, with his, hey, let's all flood the inboxes of these things saying some narrative that we want this company to react to or on. But there are concerns there. Because if Q, then have it all, right? There's the I got sidetracked by checking them. The last video where he says that he put nobody watched his video because he has installed tracker cookies. So either he has put the cookies on people's website or sorry computers somehow because Magic DIA hacker skills, and or he manipulated YouTube's website. I mean, maybe this is a thing, but I didn't know you could check to see which users have or have not watched your videos or what kind of cookies people are allowed to add to YouTube. It's just kind of weird. And then like, oh, it's a proof. Yeah, there's an elementary school there. Yeah, that's a thing. I get it. But it doesn't really prove anything. Like if you look up the what is it, the financial software that is patented, or it's like a financial process. It's oh yeah, Steinbart and Romney. That's a thing. There's this guy. into IT? Is that what he really does? Is there a reason he keeps getting access to these computers and servers as just a part of that gig? Because I've gotten within the potential to take selfies with, those Z Enterprise big old cabinet things. They're so black. Delicious. This was back in the day. Um, People have photographers everywhere. Look like you know what you're doing. You can, yeah, can really get you to a lot of places. Makes life easier. It's like I just need to go over there. I'm working. Oh, my bad. Yeah, okay, cool. Of course, we were supposed like I don't even know why they wanted us to take photos there. I was just assisting on that job particularly, but there's so many other things. Like why was he alone with that computer? Like again, the medical records that um how was the computer unlocked? Like it wasn't hacked. Like he didn't hack that computer, he accessed it. Kind of like Seth Rich. Remember with the servers and everyone's like, oh, Russia hacked it or somebody hacked in. No, it wasn't hacked. I mean, granted, that was more of a an issue with data transfer speed, but it's still the same notion. Or like Podesta's emails. Maybe that's probably a better one. Podesta's emails weren't hacked. They gave them the password. There's no hacking. Just taken. It was there. It was exposed. That's all. But that's not hacking. He didn't break into the system. He never even claimed he broke into that system. It was just there. Maybe it's weak passwords. Maybe he just guessed it. Maybe it was just on. Or maybe he was supposedly in there for another reason, and once he had the opportunity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, then it becomes a question of proving that things are real, because if he is sued by Terry something, then he has to admit to those issues to prove its veracity. Like, there's just so much. And it's kind of silly because if you remember BD Anon, Big Dick Anon, I believe, was the actual moniker. He popped up during a Q pause as well. Kind of like how the MAGA Coalition were a thing for a second, and Posobiec and Deflanglo and all this crap over and over again. Like it's an aggregate of shticks. You got the quantums, you got the time travel, you got the sending and seeing to and fro along timelines. It's been done before, but if I've noticed a lot of people have never actually been on the boards. Like it's kind of weird too, especially like a lot of people who like talk a lot about it. A lot of them have never actually been on the boards, and it's just kind of weird how like cocksure they are about everything. Like, yeah, this is absolutely the thing. You just don't understand the context. It's like there's so much bread that flies that nuance is you. That's a whole meta conversation in its own right. But yeah, there's just been a lot of similarities, if you will, in the shticks. Now, I don't know if that's intentional to call people out. I mean, by all means, call out the patriots. Nobody cares. Really, nobody cares. Like, is Austin working with the MAGA Coalition? That'd be hilarious. It'd be really sloppy and kind of lazy, but who knows? A LARP is a LARP. It's just a role play. And as long as you're not making any claims about having some sort of office to gain something, I think you're just running around bullshitting. So I don't know if that's actually illegal. I think you have to use it to do something or get somewhere you're not supposed to. Something like that. So, anyway, those are just some thoughts. And I just needed to get this done dead so I can get it out of my head and move on to something else. Because who knows? He could be part of a team. There's a lot of, oh yeah, and Kate Moss. Every now and then he posts like Kate Moss for some reason. That's also fun. But yeah, like it's probably in the same vein as the stuff that I've described usually is. I think it's just an aggregate, taking a bunch of stuff that people have vaguely heard of or seen, and the posts from the boards, or the screenshots of posts from the boards, or YouTube videos. Like, it's just, it's just all blended. So, if it goes somewhere, that would be interesting. I don't know everything. It just seems to follow a pattern. Like how the Patriots always start off with the whiteboards and then move into making it about themselves, which, to sort of wrap this up, was one of the best things Glenn Michaels ever was actually getting across. It's like, don't fall for these E-Celebs. Don't puff them up. Don't just become a Quinion, as the people who never actually understood his like whole Zen Buddhist message thing became, the Quinions, and then I think that like fuckered off into Sirius or something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. So yeah, thank you for watching. Praise Cat, praise Jonas, be best, and where we go on, we go off. Have a wonderful rest of your quarantine.